got you under my skin. I've got you deep in the heart of me. So deep in the heart. Ladies and gentlemen, in the background, you're listening to Mr. Francis Albert Sinatra. Frank Sinatra, for those of you who don't know his full name, I'm going to have a little background music for this show for a couple of reasons. I just went to the thrift store because that's what I do. I'm cheap. I go to thrift stores and I rummage through what they have at thrift stores. I came across this little gem, Sinatra at the Sands, 2 LP set, $3.50. So we got Francis Albert playing in the background, and I'll tell you why. Oh, wake up to reality. Each time I go, you makes me stop before I begin. Cause I got you under my skin. Listen for the orchestra, the orchestra. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah.
I would sacrifice anything
for
what my brother's
sake. I mean, you're near.
In spite of a war and a voice, comes the night, everything solid yells in my ear. But you know, you fool, there ain't no chance to win. Why not use your mentality?
Wake up to reality. The thought of you makes me stop before I begin. Cause I got you under my skin.
Yeah, you brought
Me under my skin. Woo! There you go. Doesn't get any better than that. And there's a reason why we got Francis Albert on in the background. Because there's a new thing. There's a new thing with Vince Russo. And the new thing is that Vince Russo is trying to stay relevant. So I want to make it perfectly clear to everybody. When I'm home in my office, alone with my dog, Yogi, we listen to Francis Albert Sinatra. And you know what that is? You know why? I don't want to be relevant. And I'm insulted when people say I'm trying to be relevant. I hate 2015. They're outside of Rihanna. There's nothing I like about 2015. I want it to be 1979. I want to be 18 again. I want the same television shows we had back then when I was a kid. I want the same music. I want Saturday Night Fever. Bring back the Bee Gees. Bring back Evelyn Champagne King. That's when music was music. Nothing was wrong with disco. the television shows, the sitcoms, Taxi, The Odd Couple, All in the Family, Sanford and Son, all of the greats, the great movies, the great movie stars, the wrestling back in that era. I want to live back then. I want it to be 1979. I don't want to be relevant. I don't want to have anything to do with today's scene. So I am highly, highly insulted with the new label of wanting to be relevant. Because I don't look. Adam West, look around this room. Adam West, Julius Irving is over there. Sylvester Stallone, Planet of the Apes on my TV. Look, John Lennon over there. My Honeymooner dolls over there. Laurel and Hardy over there. Look, my Beatle record on the ground. I have no interest in being relevant. I have no interest in anything going on today except Rihanna. That's it. I don't know how more to make that clear. I have no interest. I'm 54. I love 54. Look at the gray. Did I make myself clear? I'm leaving Francis on. Just in case I didn't make myself clear, I'm leaving Francis on throughout the course of this rant. Look, Fred Flintstone. Herman Munster. The Batmobile. George Harrison. The Jungle Book. My favorite movie of all time. 1967. The Jungle Book. I'm a 54-year-old man. My favorite movie of all time, The Jungle Book. I don't know what else do I got to do to show I don't want to be relevant. Cesar Romero. Julie Newmar. This is the world I live in. I have no interest in being relevant in 2015. When my opinions are asked, I give my opinion. You don't want to hear them? Don't listen to me. You disagree? You disagree. But this trying to save, to be relevant business, this is like the worst thing that anybody could have ever said. Look. My Mork and Mindy lunch pail. My Mork and Mindy lunchbox. Look. I don't know. What else? I don't. What do you want me to show you over here in the room? I got everything over here. Here. Some Kind of Wonderful. One of my favorite movies of all time. I love the movie. Some Kind of Wonderful. Yeah. I'm blown up. Listen. Why would I want to be, yet alone attempt to be relevant? Why do I care? You know how old my kids are? 28, 25. My baby daughter's going to be 21 years old. Do you understand that? Do you understand how old that makes me? I try to hide that. I don't want to be that. I love being 54. I love the life that I lived. I love the 70s. I love the 80s. 90s, not so much. 2000 got worse. 2010's a disaster. An absolute disaster, especially when it comes to wrestling. An absolute disaster. So stop with the trying to be relevant. What else? Here. Does anybody have any clue who this is? Anybody? Chico Marx. I'm a Marx brother, Mark. Chico. The Marx brothers were over before I was even born, for crying out loud. You know what this is? Caesar from the Planet of the Apes. Roddy McDowell. When I was a kid, my father took me to the drive-in. We sat there. We watched all 5 Planet of the Apes movies. I never forgot it. What series would you go to in 2015 and watch 5 movies in a row from 8 at night till 5 in the morning? What? Scream? Let me get to the news. There's a couple things on my mind I gotta discuss. And I'm not talking about wrestling. Listen, you want to hear wrestling? Me and Jeff Lane talked for 2 hours about wrestling today. You will have your wrestling fill. Anything you want to know about wrestling, go listen to Lions, Tigers, Bears, Dirt. I'm exhausted talking about wrestling this week. I'm going to flip the record for you. Hold on. I'm exhausted with the wrestling. I did so many podcasts this week. I can't even remember who I spoke to. I don't remember who I spoke to Monday. Listen, this is how relevant I am. As soon as I'm done, this is my last podcast of the week, and it's probably about my 15th one. As soon as this is over, I'm taking a bubble bath. I'm going in my bathtub. And I'm taking a bubble bath. That's how much I care about my relevance. I'm an old man taking a bubble bath. Or when. Okay, let me get back to the news. Gail Kim made a statement this week, and I applaud Gail Kim. I love Gail Kim calling Vince McMahon out as a sexist, and I've been saying that for years. He is an absolute sexist. I worked with the guy. You got a problem with that? Come see me. I'll email you my address, okay? But that's not the point. The point is, yes, wrestling is very sexist. It's a very sexist business. Hold on, let me lower this a little bit. So it seems that we have met before, and then we left before also long. Professional wrestling is a very sexist business. It's not just Vince McMahon. It's the boys club. I've said that all along, but I got to tell you, I was flipping through the channels the other day, and I came across I came across a football game on Fuse, Fuse, and it was the LFL. I'm assuming, I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's the Ladies Football League. I'm assuming. That's what I think it is. But let me tell you what it was. It was these girls playing arena football, and it was tackle football. And these girls were literally wearing no pads in order for them to show their bodies off. They had no pants from the waist down. They had no padding. From the waist down, no padding. A little bikini, like gimmick covering their private parts. Up top, they had this top that was squeezing their bazooms together like this, and like little shoulder pads and a helmet. And these girls were absolutely killing each other on the football field, tackling each other. Tackle football, full force tackle football. And these girls were wearing close to nothing. Are you freaking kidding me? Now, wrestling is sexist, no doubt about it, but, you know, at least it's not full contact with no padding. This ladies football, put the girls in football uniforms and let them play tackle football. I'm watching that. That's a turn on to me. I love women athletics. I love to watch women's softball. I watch women's softball all the time. But if they want to play tackle football, put them out there, let them play tackle. That's sexy. Women competing in sports is sexy. Women competing in a wrestling ring is sexy. They don't need to have no padding on and killing each other. I touched upon this in one of my blogs, and I got to talk about this. I don't like Kanye West. I don't like anything about Kanye West. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He thinks he's God's gift to I don't know who. Okay? I've seen enough interviews. I've seen his answers. I've seen the way he carries himself. I've seen the air about him. I don't need to see anything more. But this guy last Sunday goes on the Billboard Music Awards and he sings a song. Of course, it's called Black Skinheads. What a wonderful topic. Let's do a rap about black skinheads. So he's given 5 minutes to perform on this Billboard show. And he dropped so many N-bombs that in a 5-minute performance, ABC had to cut out a complete minute because that's how long the guy swore for on national television. Now, you know, I got to tell you, for this artist that Kanye West thinks he is, and he's above everybody else, and he's smarter than everybody else, and he's God's gift to the world. What is this moron thinking about when he goes on the stage on national television, prime time, and he drops N-bombs for a complete minute? What does he think? Does he think ABC's not going to censor his song? Does he think that ABC's not going to cut out all the N-bombs? Can you imagine Francis Albert performing and dropping N-bombs like it's the word end or the? I don't know what's wrong with this guy. I honestly don't. I don't know what's wrong with people in general. What are you thinking about when you're performing on a show and you drop so many curse words they got to edit out a fifth of the performance? That's not being an artist. That's being an idiot. I got this other problem. Oh. I got a problem with Chinese buffets. And I'll tell you what. Like everybody, I enjoy the Chinese buffet. I enjoy you go in there, you start with a little sushi. Maybe you get a little shrimp. Maybe you get your wonton soup. Then maybe we start getting into the chicken and the broccoli, the lo mein. Yeah, I like my Chinese buffet. Go is my kind of town. Chicago is razzmatazz. Okay, so I like the Chinese buffet, but I got to tell you, this is what pisses me off. So, like, when I want Chinese food, I'm not going to go get Chinese food. I'm going to go to the Chinese buffet. If I want Chinese food, I'm going to eat till I drop. There's no point in it. If you're not going to go all the way with it, then don't go at all. So I have a tendency to go to Chinese buffets without any questions asked, because here's what happens. Let me tell you what happens. You walk in the door, and then you see these islands and islands and islands and islands of Chinese food laid out. So you get lost. Now you can't wait to get to the plate. How many times do they ask you for your drink order? You don't even sit down to give them the drink order. You just you go, you get the plate, you go right online to the buffets. You don't even care about the drink because it's like miles and miles and miles of islands of Chinese food. So, now you're gorging. Boom, boom. Sushi, wonton, shrimp, chicken, broccoli, beef and broccoli, egg rolls, fried wontons, you name it, bro. You're eating everything over there like there's no tomorrow. So you're eating and you're eating and you're eating. Then you go for the dessert. They got the little macaroons. I don't know why Chinese people, what it is with them and the macaroons. They got the little macaroons. They always have tapioca, which I'm a big fan of the tapioca. They always got the tapioca. So you're eating. Okay, finally, you're full. Here's where they get you. The freaking bill comes. And now the bill for two people for a Chinese buffet is a minimum of 25 large. Now, it doesn't matter what time you go. It doesn't matter if you go 10 in the morning. It doesn't matter if you go 2 in the afternoon. It doesn't matter if you go 4, 6, 8, or 10. The bill is always a minimum of 25 to 30 bills, which means the buffet is costing you between $12.95 and $14.95. And here's the thing. They're smart, these people, because they don't advertise it anywhere. You see what I'm saying? Here's the advertisement. When you walk in, the miles and miles and miles and miles of Chinese food, that's the advertisement. You can walk into any Chinese buffet, and they never list the pricing on the wall. The pricing is never there on the wall. So you see the pricing first, and you say 15 large. Forget about the 15 large. I'll go to McDonald's. I'll do the dollar menu and I'll be okay. They never show you that. It's always the end of the meal when the innocent woman comes with the little check on that little plastic gimmick, and they usually hide it with the 2 fortune cookies on top. They put the fortune cookies on top of the bill. They do everything to disguise the bill. They don't advertise it when you come in. They don't tell you how much it is. Then when it comes, they hide it with the fortune cookies. You get rid of the fortune cookies. Now you got to look at the bill. Now you see the damage, $30 for 2 people. Listen, I know the gig with these Chinese restaurants now. I'm 54 years old. I understand. The other day, my wife and I, this is no joke. I told you last Saturday, I traded in a bunch of CDs because I wanted new toys. I wanted a new Egghead doll. Hey, I got my new Beatle album over there. So I had to trade in stuff to get that stuff because I'm not going to pay. I can't pay for toys. So we go, and on the way home, I said, let's stop at the Chinese buffet. So, of course, we walk in, no prices. I'm starving, miles and miles and miles and miles and miles of Chinese food. Even the Mongolian bar, if you have the patience for them to cook your food. So this is no joke. Me and my wife eat. We get the bill. It's $38. We sat down before 2:00. So now I'm like, are you out of your freaking mind? $40 for lunch. So now the girl comes over, can I help you? Can I help you? And I said, yeah, you can help me. $40 for lunch, for crying out loud. So now the girl tells me, no, it's not lunch. It's not lunch. All day on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's dinner. It's a dinner price all day on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No matter what time you go, it's a dinner price. How can I be paying a dinner price at 2:00 in the afternoon? It's 2:00 in the afternoon. What dinner? I gotta eat dinner later. It's lunch. But she tells me calmly as can be, oh no, Friday through Sunday, all we have is dinner prices. So then, okay, listen, I'm not gonna fight with the woman. She didn't make up the rules. It's not her restaurant. But here's the thing now. So now I give the credit card, and she comes back, gives me the receipt. Now my wife Amy is going through the pocketbook, and I know what she's doing. And she's going in the wallet, and she's getting a couple of bucks to leave the tip. And I'm like, are you out of your freaking mind? We paid $40 for dinner when it's really lunch. It's a buffet. They didn't serve us anything. And by the way, they were late with my water a couple of times. If we want to be honest, I had to wait a couple of times for my water. And my wife now is digging in the bag to leave the tip. So now I'm into lunch for $42. So now here's what happens. Let me break down to you what happens. I got Come and Go over here across the street from me. I told you, I'm a prisoner of my own home. I rant and rave like this, like a lunatic, because nobody's here. Nobody's home to hear me. I'm here by myself. I don't have a car. My daughter has hijacked my car. I'm a prisoner of my own home. So the only way I go out, see, again, this goes right back to the relevant thing. Look at the life I'm leading over here. I got a pathetic life. I'm 54 years old. I don't have a car. I'm going to worry about being relevant. I don't have a car. So the only thing that keeps me sane is literally at the corner, there's a Come and Go, which is a horrible name for a 7-Eleven. And they spell it with a K, which for some reason makes it worse. They spell it K-U-M and Go. Was that a rib on everybody? It's disgusting. How do you market Come and Go? So here's my saving grace. During the day when I need a break, I'll walk to the Come and Go and I'll get myself a cup of coffee. Usually what, $1.49? Because I don't get the large one's too much. $1.79. I get $1.49. I get the medium coffee. That's it. That's my time outside. So now, because I know I spent the $42 on the lunch / dinner at the buffet, now I got to deprive myself of coffee at the Come and Go every day for $1.50 because I'm trying to make up from the $42 lunch. So in my mind, I'm thinking $1.50 a day. If I don't go over there and have coffee for 5 days, that's $7.50. I'll save that I could take off the lunch / dinner buffet. This is how my mind works, guys. I'll be honest with you. And people like, I'm trying to be relevant. And I'm trying to save $1.50 a day on coffee, and people are worried about me being relevant. Are you out of your freaking mind? This is the life I lead. This is this is my life. Look around you. Here, this is it. This is my life. I'm worried about relevant here. Look. Here. Ringo. Ringo, my kids lost Ringo's drumsticks. I almost blew a freaking gasket. I went out of my mind. I came home one day and Ringo had no drumsticks. And this is okay, granted, they were kids at the time. This is a long time ago. I'm going back. This is an antique. But Ringo had no drumsticks. And I'm looking closer and closer. And you know what I realized? My kids put toothpicks where the drumsticks was supposed to be. So now I come home and Ringo was playing toothpicks. And, I gave it the double take. I know before I left, Ringo had drumsticks. I come home and they got toothpicks in his hand. And I said to my kids at the time, what happened to Ringo's drumsticks? Remember the story I told you about my son, when he was 28, breaking my blinds and trying to fix them without me noticing? At 28, he did that. They were kids then. I'm like, what? Where are Ringo's drumsticks? Listen, I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to yell at anybody. Where are Ringo's drumsticks? These are toothpicks. They're not drumsticks. Nobody knows where his drumsticks are. Nobody knows. To this day, I don't know what happened to Ringo's drumsticks. Then, maybe about a month or two later, I come home, go in my office. Do you see anything wrong with this picture? This is George Harrison. George is playing half a guitar. Somehow, George lost the rest of his guitar. Now, to their credit, they didn't try to glue toothpicks to George's guitar because I had already called them on that. So now Ringo's got no drumsticks. George has half a guitar. They're my kids. I'm going to remain calm. Okay? What happened to George's guitar? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. It's a mystery. George Harrison somehow in the middle of the night lost half his guitar. Here's the best one yet. This is back in the day when I'm working WWE, wherever. I have my Beatle collection. Listen, if you don't know, this collection is the Beatles had an animated series. You can't get these figures anymore. Okay, so I loved these. I loved the Beatle animated series. I loved it. I wish I could get that on. It's not even available on DVD. I love the show. Right. This is probably 64. I'm probably 3 years old. So I got my whole set right on my desk. I come home from the road now. Okay. George was there with half his guitar. Paul was there with a full guitar. Ringo is there with no drumsticks or toothpicks. Okay. You see where I'm going with this? We got Ringo, Paul, George, and his half guitar. John Lennon is nowhere to be found. I'm not going to get in a tizzy. He's misplaced. Maybe they put him with my Flintstone village. I have a Flintstone village. Maybe they put him in Jellystone Park, my Yogi Bear playset. Maybe they misplaced John Lennon. I don't even call him on it. I go through all my toys. I go through all my stuff. John Lennon's no place to be found. Okay? This isn't now missing drumsticks. This isn't now half a guitar. We've lost John Lennon. John Lennon's gone. So now I call them in the room, get them all in the room. Guys, I know I've been on the road. I'm tired. I'm not going to get upset. Where's John Lennon? Will looks at VJ. VJ looks at Will. Both of them look at Annie, who is about 2 years old at this time. She's 2, okay? She's 2. The other 2 jabrones are 6. No, she's 2. The other 2 jabrones are 8 and about 4. They pointed Annie. Annie did something with John Lennon. Meanwhile, Annie can barely talk at this point. I don't even know if she's walking at this point. I know Annie doesn't even know who John Lennon is. Probably couldn't even reach my desk, but they're accusing Annie did something with John Lennon. To this day, Will's 28 now. VJ turned 25 on Tuesday. They don't know where my John Lennon is. Do you know how crazy that makes me? You can't get them anymore. They discontinued them. And John Lennon disappeared from my set. George Harrison has a broken guitar. And Ringo is playing nothing. He's there like this. He's got nothing in his hand. This is what he's doing. I'm going to talk about one more thing to stay relevant. I'm into a new show. There's this new show on Fox on Thursday night called Wayward Pines. Matt Dillon's in the show. It's very Lostish, which I like. Listen, they just ended The Following. The Following's over after 3 seasons. I got to find a new show. Everyone knows all I watch is reality TV. I love Teen Moms. I love Mob Wives. I'm now watching the new show with my new friend Jason that was on The Swerve this past week, Married at First Sight. I watched that. I like that. Listen, I like the reality show. I don't want to think when I'm watching TV. I want a reality show. I want a cartoon, or I want baseball. That's all that I want. I don't want nothing else. Or I want like old MTV. That's it. I don't want to think about anything. But I need the one show that I gotta think about like once a week, and I gotta pay attention to. So I've chosen Wayward Pines. Now the director of Wayward Pines is what is it? M. Night Shyamalan, whatever it is. You know who he is. He was the guy who directed The Sixth Sense. After that, he did Unbreakable. Then there was The Village and something in an elevator. I don't even know. I went to see the elevator gimmick. I don't even know what that was. But listen, after Sixth Sense, everything was downhill for this guy. Everything was downhill for the guy. But the coming attractions look interesting. Maybe I got to think a little bit about this. So I start watching this Wayward Pines. It's the 2nd episode yesterday. I watched it just yesterday. Now, here's the thing. We set this thing up that Matt Damon got in a bad car wreck. So they claim he has blood on the brain. He wouldn't let them operate on him. So here's the deal. We don't know now if it's really happening or if he's imagining these things. He's hallucinating because of the car accident and the blood on the brain. So we don't know, is there really a Wayward Pines? Did they really just kill Juliette Lewis? Or is this his imagination? Is he hallucinating? We don't know. Remember Dallas? Listen, Mr. Relevant, I'm talking about Dallas now. I was in college when Dallas happened, 1983. Remember Dallas? Bobby Ewing's dead. Bobby Ewing's dead. Bobby Ewing's dead. The next thing we know, Bobby Ewing is in the shower and it was all a bad dream. Remember that catastrophe? So now I'm in my second week of this. And I'm telling you, if I invest, Jeff Lane today, at Jeff Lane 22, he told me this show is 10 weeks. If I invest 10 weeks of my time in this show, and at the end of the day, this show, he was hallucinating for the last 10 weeks, and none of it is true, I'm going to go absolutely out of my mind. Because even though I have a lot of time on my hands, I don't like to waste the time. That's all. I don't like to waste my time. So if I'm wasting time and this guy he's hallucinating over everything for 10, I'm going to go absolutely out of my mind. That's it. That's all I have to say. Listen, guys, I'm going to go take a bubble bath now. This week, I'm going to try to remember some of the people I spoke to. I spoke to my buddy Jason from Married at First Sight. I spoke to my buddy Zach Eisenstein from the group Man Overboard. Phenomenal guest. We talked sometime this week. I talked to Jeremy Borash this week. I talked to Scott Hudson this week. I talked to the Geese from England this week. I talked to Ryan Mason this week. Hold on. Mason Ryan, I believe. Yeah, I always get see the irrelevance there. The two names, Mason Ryan, even the two names I get confused. Mason Ryan, I talked to a wrestler from Wales. That's totally unbelievable. I talked to him sometime this week. I think I did 7 baseball podcasts this week. I think I did my 5 and 2 other ones. I know I did that. I know we did the Brand Speaks. I know me and Jeff did the Raw review. So listen, now I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna go. I'm taking a bubble bath. I missed the bubble. That's the preferred bubbles. I have no problem sharing that with you. I'm going to put on my first edition iPad that's so outdated now, I can't even download new music on it because it's so outdated. I'm going to go put that on. I'm going to listen to that while I'm in the bubble bath. I'll probably listen to maybe John Cougar. I don't know, maybe Talking Heads, AC/DC. I need to do the more mellow thing right now. So, we'll see. But that's it. Stop with the irrelevant. I don't want to be irrelevant ever. I don't want to come from this era. I don't want to live in 2015. If there was a DeLorean outside that would take me back to 1979, I would fly so fast off this chair. I would get out there quicker than the Roadrunner or Ricochet Rabbit, if you have any idea who he is. If somebody said, Vince, right now, go out the door, we're going to bring you back to 1979, I would run out my front door. Stop with the relevant. I don't care about what's going on today. I don't watch the news. I don't follow politics. I don't want to know any of that stuff. Trust me. I'm blown up from this now. I'm sweating. Look, I'm sweating. I'm blown up. I've lost my voice all over again now. So that's why I think it's the end of the broadcast. I hope you enjoyed it. We covered a lot of bases here. We opened with Francis Albert. We closed with the DeLorean. In between, we talked about buffets. I got to read this one thing for you, though. I got to read this in closing because, listen, I think I'm going to put this Chicken Dex out for free as a sample. of what you get from me if you're a member of the brand for $4.95 a month. Forget about the 8 podcasts a week, whatever it is. You get chicken necks. This is what you get. I got to read this to you, though. They were nice enough, the people at Realm, to send me this because I got to generate income for what I'm doing so I can afford my coffee when I go to Come and Go. It's important that you, your friends, and your family support the brand by shopping on the Amazon page. Now, I'm going to explain how this works. Just click the Amazon banners or buttons on vincerussobrand.com, and this will take you right to your account. Then bookmark it for yourself and for me. I have no idea what that means. I know the people at Realm knows what it means, and I hope you're relevant enough to know what that means because I don't. Or click the Amazon Prime banner on my webpage to start a free 30-day trial of Amazon Prime. Okay, so click the Amazon Prime banner on my webpage to start a free 30-day trial of Amazon Prime. Now, this is what happens if you do this. That'll get you free 2-day shipping on almost everything, free Kindle book rentals with 500,000 choices, and American Prime instant video with more than 40,000 movies and TV shows. And now, get unlimited streaming of over 1 million songs through Amazon Prime Music through a free app, hundreds of playlists, no commercials, no extra charge. For free shipping and constant access to movies, books, TV shows, and music, follow my lead and join Amazon Prime. Or just do your Amazon shopping at vincerussobrand.com to help support the brand. Now, if you watch this free edition of Chicken Necks, this free episode, you will see I've given you my voice. I'm sweating. My blood rose, I think, a little bit. I think especially during the buffet rant, I think because I saw my face get red. So that means my blood pressure went up a little bit. I played Francis Albert for you. You got to, I think Yogi made a cameo at some point in this, whatever it is. I can't give you anything more. I gave it all to you. I've left it all here on the table. This was like a Kurt Angle wrestling match. This was like a Kurt Angle match. I left it all here. I left it all there with you. There's nothing left here. I'm going to go take the bubble bath. I'm going to use Mr. Bubble. I'm going to use the iPad. I'm going to listen to maybe a little John Cougar. I'm going to take a break for the rest of the weekend. I'm going to come back on Monday. Eva Lee's from Lucha Underground. I'm in love with this Eva Lee's. What a performer. What a warrior. What a vixen. What a woman. We're going to do her on Monday. We're going to talk to her on Monday. We're going to do Raw the day after on Tuesday. And then we're going to continue the rest of the week. So listen, everybody, I hope you have a great weekend. As always, I thank you for your support. I thank you for listening to me. I'm gonna leave you with this word of advice, though. If you go to a Chinese buffet this weekend, ask the price before you sit down. Find out if you're getting lunch prices when it's lunch. Otherwise, you're going to be hit with a $40 bill. And your wife is probably going to want to leave a tip. That's my advice to you. So stay cool. I love you. I'll catch you all on the rebound.